Today, we're going to be looking at 10 kids who survived the impossible. We all hope we never have to experience a life-threatening situation. These are kids who have experienced impossible, awful, or scary situations and survived. So prepare to be stunned and amazed. But first, be sure to like the video and subscribe, and comment "I subscribed" and I'll try to reply. Coming in at number 10, we have Autumn Viach. In 2016, 16-year-old Autumn Viach was visiting her grandparents in Washington, but she went missing. Why? Well, her and her grandparents decided to take out a small private plane one afternoon, when in a sudden turn of events, the plane crashed into the mountainous Okanogan County area. Sadly, Autumn's grandparents passed away in the crash, but she survived. Surprisingly, she used her knowledge from survival shows to find a trail and waved down a car. A driver then took her to a police station where she informed them of her tragic story. Amazingly, despite being the sole survivor, she only sustained minor injuries. And what's more, she even tried to rescue her grandparents from the wreckage. Even though this wasn't a success, she's still a hero and a great survivalist. Next up, we have Willie Myrick. In 2014, 10-year-old Willie Myrick was playing in his front yard in Georgia. A man then lured him into his car with the promise of money. They had a 6-hour drive ahead of them to the child snatcher's house. But after driving for 4 hours, Willie repeatedly sang the gospel song, "Every Praise." At first, it was out of fear, but Willie soon realized it was annoying the man. The man repeatedly told him to shut up, but Willie wouldn't, and kept singing until the man told him to get out of the car. Willie then ran to the nearest police station before being reunited with his family, and he even ended up meeting the man who wrote the song that saved his life. Next up, we have Joey Welch. If a zookeeper was jumped on by an alligator, their chances of surviving would be scarce. But what about if a 6-year-old had a nasty run-in with an alligator? In 2013, a 6-year-old boy from Florida named Joey Welch was at a wildlife sanctuary at Boynton Beach. He was getting ready to go canoeing with his dad when suddenly he fell off a dock into some shallow water. But as soon as he landed in the water, an alligator clung onto his arm. Joey's father jumped into the water and began kicking the alligator to get it off. After a few minutes of hitting and kicking the alligator, it finally released Joey. The doctor said it was a miracle the boy hadn't lost an arm, but on the contrary, the boy was totally unharmed. Next up, we have Mackenzie Wethington. In January 2014, 16-year-old Mackenzie Wethington was skydiving with her father. She jumped out of the plane and plummeted 4,000 feet. But there was one problem. Her parachute failed to open. She hit the ground, breaking many bones and damaging her liver and kidneys. But amazingly, she lived. The reason why she survived was because she passed out mid-fall. This relaxed her bones and allowed her to land naturally, saving her life. While Mackenzie may not have had such a big role in saving her life as other kids on this list, she is still amazing. Next up, we have Rebecca Safaris. One morning, 12-year-old Rebecca Safaris was walking to her school in Massachusetts, when suddenly a man in a truck pulled up next to her and showed her a pistol he had. He then got out and put the pistol to Rebecca's side, using the other hand to grab her backpack. He told her to walk towards the truck and get in, but Rebecca faked a stumble and managed to slip out of the backpack and run for her life. The man then got in his truck and fled, but not before Rebecca noted his driving license. With this and a clear description of him, Rebecca was able to lead police to Louis Lent. It was then discovered that he was a repeat offender and was charged with a variety of different crimes involving children. He is currently serving a 12-year sentence, and Rebecca is known as a local hero in her town, Pittsfield. Next up, we have Peyton Bushnell. In 2012, a 4-year-old girl named Peyton Bushnell was feeling unwell. Her parents couldn't work out why, so they took her to the doctor. The doctor gave Peyton an x-ray and discovered something bizarre: 37 powerful magnets. Peyton had swallowed some buckyball magnets, which had ripped 4 holes in her lower intestine and 2 in her stomach. She was luckily rescued by some amazing surgeons who saved her life in an emergency operation.